A change in conditions sees this year's running of the Woolavington 2000 open to all age groups of fillies and mares to be run at weight for age.
And they sent on their journey from the 2,000-metre marker.
Rising stars Lady of Power and none other, Gilded Butterfly and Peach Daiquiri take on the more experienced and multiple graded stakes winners In Holland and Marina, along with last year's winner of the race, Silver Darling. Let's get into it. In Holland showed a welcome return to form when winning the Grade 2 Colorado King Stakes going the 2,000 metres.
In Holland wins it a couple of lengths. World Sports Betting Premiers Champions Challenge.
5 weeks later, she finished third to recently crowned Highveld Horse of the Season, Puerto Manzano.
In Holland is in a good space at the moment. Her work is good. Happy with the way she's moving, nice and fresh. She came out of her last run very well. I thought she was unlucky not to go close in that race, but having said that, she has a good draw.
Thank you for having me. Obviously, I had to just say thanks to Mr. Tarry. You know, when I asked him to actually ride the filly that big day, he looked at me and said, "Yeah, but you don't listen." So I said, "No, please. I really, because she's beaten me a couple of times, and I felt that she should be at the best." So he allowed me to take her at home, and we sort of like gelled together. And he was surprised, and from then onwards, we came in a race, and I asked him, "What's the instructions?" He says, "Oh, you go do your own thing. You're getting along with her very well." So it was actually very nice. Obviously, I couldn't actually ride her other starts where Richard rode her, but I think she still ran a very nice race. I really think after her set on her on Saturday, she's in a really good space, and also a nice thing, you know, she's got a very, very nice draw. She has to make those boys run, and I think that's what she's here for. And she stays all day. She's proven it in a Triple Tiara. And, you know, she's in good space, and I'm in good space, and we're looking for those very memorable moments that myself and Mr. Tarry had before. And, you know, we hope we can go strength to strength.
And I feel she'll be very competitive. I expect a massive run.
To the Bling fans, and obviously we are coming for the big day on Saturday, and we'd like all the fans to come and support. Whoop whoop!
None other is a competitive filly, having won consistently throughout her career, including the recent Grade 2 Wilgeborstdrift Bridget Oppenheimer Oaks.
And for Mary Slack, none other wins.
Yeah, she is fit and well. Unfortunately, the draw didn't favour us. Got a bit of a wide draw. Couldn't get the jocks I really wanted to because I wasn't sure whether she was going to run or not. So yeah, anyway, we got JP, which I believe is more than capable of doing the job. So she'll leave Friday morning, and hopefully she'll travel to Greyville better than she did last time. She was very unsettled, but it's a year later. She's a lot more mature, so I'm hoping she's more chilled. So yeah, I suppose we'll have to come down. It's a Group 1. You don't get them every day, and we'll take our chances. And yeah, hope for the best.
Silver Darling, though, has a length to spare, and it's Silver Darling.
Silver Darling won the Woolavington 2000 last year and is back to attempt a double of wins.
Silver Darling had a great prep in the Western Cape. She's come up, she's fit and ready. She had a grass gallop at Summerveld, which all went well. She's also in a very good space, looks amazing for this time of the year and the weather we've had in Natal. I do think she'll be right on top of them. Very strong field, but it should be, and look forward to the contest on the weekend.
And here's Marina,
Marina was successful in champion season last year, winning the Grade 2 gold bracelet and running second in the Grade 1 FC Football Club Garden Province Stakes. She's since won a Grade 3 in the Cape and is back in KZN this year.
She's doing nicely at home. She's had 2 gallops since she's gotten to Durban. Just been a little bit on the back foot with her due to the the rain that they've had up in Durban and not quite having the tracks that we needed to have for her. This race was never really on the calendar until they opened the race up recently, so it was a little bit of a rush to get her back here, and we had our racing cancelled here, so our racing got delayed, so she's been a little bit delayed in her prep. She's had 2 gallops and she's been up to Durban, so I'm hoping that will be enough on Saturday. It is a very competitive field. I think it's a tough race. She's drawn okay at 8 in quite a big field of 14, so I'm hopeful of a good run from her. I'm just hoping that this race hasn't just come a little bit too soon with all the outside factors that have come into play, but she's in good shape, and I'm hoping for a good run.
3 times winner Saartjie stepped up in class last time out in the Grade 2 World Sports Betting Fillies Guineas.
They come from everywhere. Peach Daiquiri, and Peach Daiquiri has won it. Second place will go to Saartjie, third Hold My Hand, and then Golden Stairs.
Yeah, Michelle, I think mixed emotions. Obviously we're very pleased that she stepped up to group class, and obviously the disappointing part that she got close but just couldn't finish it off. Look, there was a lot of interference in the race and she probably suffered the most. She was like the meat in the sandwich, top of the straight, up the straight. She was never on a straight course, so we were happy that she finished off, but yeah, it was mixed emotions. But she's come out the run. We had to give her a few days to recover from the run, but the last 10 days she's really come back to herself and she's been looking good in her race. Obviously, big step up now into Group 1 level against older fillies. Those fillies have all got the form and obviously the experience behind them, so it'll be interesting how she can raise her game.
Oh, she's such a sweetheart. She's a lovely ride, very easy horse to ride the track. She's very relaxed on her own. She doesn't show much, and obviously she's a type of filly when you wake her upside, that's when she show her true ability. But with the preparation, I'm very happy with her, and after coming back from a fillies guineas, and hopefully she ran a sort of the same race, and I think she's got a chance.
Like none other, Gilded Butterfly is another consistently competitive filly. She won the Grade 2 World Sports Betting Gerald Rosenberg Stakes in her last start.
Gilded Butterfly going to win by 5 or 6 lengths.
She's actually a dark horse in the race, I thought. You know, she found her wings last time, if I may say, and she really enjoyed the conditions. So whether you put it down to conditions or not, she throws in 1 or 2 bad runs, but I think Miss Pedigree's got her in a good space, as you could see from her last win, and she's a filly. She'll be competitive.
Do you think it is going to be a competitive race, particularly bearing in mind that the conditions have changed and you're now up against the older fillies, even though it is weight for age?
Well, look, the conditions have changed, like you said, but the younger fillies, they've got a fresher leg, so you got to look towards that as well. You know, and those older fillies, they're getting on in age, and but yeah, quality field, as you say, and I think you're going to get the best horses winning.
Time Flies on the inside.
Time Flies has won 5 from 9, including the listed East Coast Cup in her last start when raiding from Gauteng.
This is definitely a step up in class for her, and it might have just come a little bit too soon after her last run because she had to go back to Joburg and she's got to come back again. So it is really tough on a horse to do that. She's a small little filly, but she is improving, but I just think she's got a very tough task.
Yeah, we're testing the waters a little bit, seeing how close we can go in and out of Joburg to raid KZN. So we're a little bit unsure about that, but you know, with regards to the filly, of how she's come out of the race and how she's improved from it, I couldn't actually be happier with her. I think she's come on lengths from her last start.
She's a very hard filly to assess at the moment how good she is, because I think she's all of a sudden starting to improve, and obviously this is going to be a tougher start, so we'll have to see how she competes against those tough fillies.
You know, it is a very hard race. There's some big horses running here where we are quite badly out at the weights, but you know, if you've got a ticket, you've got a chance. So we're trying our luck here. We do have a good draw, and you know, with Louis on board, I think if the filly, if the race goes the way that the filly likes it, I think she could be a massive runner. So yeah, very happy with her, and I think she's going to be very competitive on the day.
Down on the inside, Peach Daiquiri.
Winner of the recent Grade 2 World Sports Betting Fillies Guineas, Peach Daiquiri, is back in the province and going the 400 metres further.
And Peach Daiquiri has won it.
We are very pleased with Peach Daiquiri and the way she won the Guineas. That proved that she gets the mile, and the fact that she took the race well. We decided to come down for the Woolavington. Saturday is going to be a big test to see if she goes the 2000. She has a chance to do that on a female line especially. But with luck she'll get a chance to settle early and use her quick turn of foot again to good advantage. And look, this race is obviously a stronger race or further challenge, especially with the inclusion of the older fillies. But Peach Daiquiri is very well, and we hope for a bold show.
Hold My Hand may have only won once, but she's Grade 1 placed and a consistent graded stakes performer.
They come from everywhere. Peach Daiquiri, and Peach Daiquiri has won it. Second place will go to Saartjie, third Hold My Hand, and then Golden Stairs.
Yeah, she was quite fresh in the mile the other day. She pulled quite hard with Grant. We were humming and hawing to take the blinkers off. I just think she really came to that race fresh, and she just overdid it a little bit in the beginning. And of course up the straight, apparently Grant dropped his right rein and she ran into the other gold standard filly, and a bit of argy-bargy then. I think that could have cost them a little bit. They could have gone a little bit closer, because I think the unlucky horse there was Saartjie. She took the brunt of it really. So it might have been a different result, but yeah, we're very happy with her. This is her trip. This is the race we want to go for. However, it is open now that we've got the older fillies in the race. Some of the older fillies are off form. Some of them coming back from a layoff, so it's going to be an interesting race. I think the guy's going to have to go wide there. She never cracks a draw. I don't know, something with the gold standards, they never get a draw. But it's fine. You know, she comes from off them anyway, so we're happy.
Winner of the Grade 2 Wilgeborgsdrift Fillies Guineas in Gauteng when going the mile is Lady of Power.
Lady of Power still in front here in the Fillies Guineas.
She's had 3 graded stakes runs since, recently finishing 2.5 lengths behind Peach Daiquiri in the World Sports Betting Fillies Guineas in KZN.
Very fortunate to have a very good draw, but it is obviously now that they've opened it up, it becomes even more competitive. The bigger the field, I gotta say to you, I really thought 3-year-olds should run with 3-year-olds. So the step up, hopefully the weight allowance over 2,000 meters that we are getting is sufficient to be able to beat the older horses. But she's a classy filly. She did win the Joburg Guineas, so obviously she's packed with class, and I'm sure she'll give up a good account of herself.
Light to the moon, the filly's running a cracker.
Seen winning when going the 2-4 in October, Light of the Moon will be looking to regain her earlier form, which saw her finish a length off In Holland in the 2022 Wilgeborgsdrift SA Oaks. Winner of the listed East Cape Oaks at Fairview when going the 2,000 metres in her penultimate start is Virginia Sweet.
Virginia Sweet is going to draw away to win.
Heads up, they're racing from the 2,000 metre marker.
She followed it up with a place in the listed KRA East Coast Cup at Hollywood Bets Greyville when finishing 1 length behind Time Flies.
Another one that really over-raced in the first part of the race. You know, we were drawn wide, and I just said to Ashton, you know, you've got to get a tuck in because she can take a bit of hold. And it almost looked too dramatic. He jumped out and really jerked her and pulled, and then she was at the back of the field, but just over-racing. But she rounded off a race, and she ran a good third in that listed. It is a jumping class. What we have to do is get the bold black type, and when it's on their resume, it's on there. So even if it's Group 1 placed, it'll be fantastic for the filly. I mean, she's so beautifully bred. But she definitely does stay well. So she's got a favourable draw now. Hopefully Craig Zaki can put her to sleep early and finish off a run.
The consistent Ice Sensation has not missed the frame in her last 4 runs, winning 2, off a merit rating of 87 and 33 points below the likes of In Holland. She has a lot to find.
Ice Sensation, not for the catching though.
Yeah, she's always shown us decent work. Obviously another horse with a big jump up in class. She's well out of it, but she's going to be in there to do a job and make sure the pace is genuine. Some of these Group 1 races have been run a little bit falsely and we don't get the right results. So she's going to go out there and make it honest and genuine and obviously help everyone in the race.
Ipso Facto won the listed Ormond Ferraris Oaks Trial in March. This will be her first trip out of Gauteng and her third race in 5 weeks.
Ipso Facto is a very smart filly. Although she's still busy maturing, she has shown that she's got the ability that she is able to compete in this level of race, and just hoping for a good run from her.
What do you think of the quality of the field this year, especially now that the conditions have changed?
Yeah, I think it's twofold. Obviously the 3-year-olds, it was their chance to get some Group 1 behind their name, but obviously now it's changed, so it's going to be a lot difficult for the younger horses if they can step up. But obviously the older horses, I think, do have that experience and obviously that class on their side, and it'll be an interesting race. Like I say, as long as it's a true run race, we're probably going to get a good result.
Glenn, do you think the change in conditions favour the more experienced older fillies and mares?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, that's why it's a weight for age, so it should be all balanced out. It just makes it tougher, you know. Some of the younger 3-year-old fillies, when you look at the rating, you know, you wouldn't ordinarily run them against the older fillies. But I mean, it is weight for age, so the best horses should come to the top.